Well, my computer crashed. And I'm not really sure why. But to recap what I was saying earlier, I mostly just fished. And now I have money. And I think I got into like 2 battles to get a few people up to level 29. And now we're gonna go fight the T-Rex, which I was over halfway done with last time. So I'm a little annoyed I have to redo this. But it didn't seem that hard. Didn't seem that hard when I switched in Xion and changed my tactic to focus on healing. So hopefully this also won't be very hard.
What? I'm
sorry for almost blowing me up. Hey, not like it's the first time. Come on, we need to take her down.
okay.
Just all fit if you hear it, Ignite! Crumble!
Hurricane
Tectonic Punch! Aim for the weak point! All fit if you hear it
I'm
now!
out of ammo. I'm all stuffed
No
up.
further!
Lightning orb.
Crumble!
More where that came from.
Tectonic!
Annihilation.
Steel!
Dance to the wind. In here. One for the
Shield
south.
Ignite! Crumble!
Here comes. More where that came
Just
from.
that frickin' does it!
Lightning strike. Here comes
Crumble!
raging cascade.
Dust to dust!
Dance to the wind. Flame of fury.
Crumble! I'm just getting started!
Glacial
Hear my call! Tiger Blade! Dust to dust!
Hurricane.
What's this?
Fury.
Prepare to be seen!
Yeah, I want to turn off some other abilities. Probably not her. Does she have any ground attacks? She doesn't. Let's just turn off everything air related. And her too. You have any air spells? You're fine.
Crumble! Ignite! Dust to dust!
Glacial
Tectonic Punch!
Tiger
Dust to
Raging
dust!
cascade.
Crumble!
Water. Hear my call.
Here goes! Crumble! Can't get out of this!
Hear me. Flame of fury.
My armor won't save you!
ready to go. Glacial spear. Piercing
I'm
heal.
ready to go!
Primed and ready. Stockpile.
Crumble!
Glacial fire.
Dust to dust!
Tiger blade.
Crumble!
I never miss. I can't do anything.
Damn it! If only I'd been more careful. These fists have got your name on them!
I'll bring you back from
all
the
mine.
abyss.
This one's mine!
Resuscitation. Here, let me
Crumble!
First aid.
I'll crush you! Ah! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Lightning orb. Lightning descent.
Denied!
Healing circle.
Now I'm in. Now we're Guardian Tail! No further!
I'm ready to go. Here.
Now I'm in the groove!
Hands off.
Tectonic punch! All good things come to an end.
Tail's a problem. Then let's focus there first.
I really owe you one.
I'll be saving you.
Now you see what I can do!
Dust
to dust! Watch this!
Tiger blade.
Dust
Here's
to
a healing
dust!
art. Photon. Lightning descent.
Watch this!
This one's mine.
Just prepare to be
I'm
seen!
out of it. I'm all stuck.
Crumble.
Annihilation. Mega ray.
Take this!
Going in. Annihilation. Mega ray.
Lunar arc! Crumble!
Lightning raging cascade. Glacial
Watch
spear.
this! Tiger blade! Ready and
More
ready!
for the stockpile. Flaming meteor. Here.
This
one's mine.
Ignite! Dust to dust!
Tiger
Crumble!
blade.
Come on a roll now! All good things come
This
to an
one's
end.
mine. Never miss. I'm all stuffed up. Annihilation.
Take this!
Lightning orb. Photon.
Now
Raging
I'm in the
cascade.
groove!
There. In here. Again.
Dust to dust! Tectonic punch!
One and weak.
Dust to come on a roll now! Crumble! Now you see what I can do!
This one's mine.
This one's all mine.
Tectonic punch! Eat dirt!
Water astral energy! Healing
Dust to
circle!
dust!
Hey, look!
Crumble!
Light astral energy! Hear me! Hear my call!
Dust to dust! Tectonic
Here's a
punch!
healing art! Here! Let's
Dust to dust!
Kill!
Tectonic punch!
Raging
Perfect
cascade!
Joker!
Sleep now!
Dust to dust!
Do it!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
Here's a healing art! Here goes! Lightning orb!
Steel!
Here I go!
Tectonic punch!
In here!
Piston!
I'll be
Just
saving
to
you!
go.
Let me help! Here goes!
Take this!
Crumble! How about
Tectonic punch!
Now you've gone and ticked me off!
Here!
Dust to dust! Crumble!
In
Dust
here!
to dust!
Mine!
Radiant! Here!
Dust to dust!
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare Demolisher!
Here! Let me help!
Crumble!
I'm going!
Tectonic punch! Crumble!
That
Freaking does it!
Glacier! Crumble! Here he is!
Tectonic punch!
Going in!
Crumble!
Healing art!
What's this? Eat dirt!
I really owe
Ready
you
to
one.
go! Hey,
Tiger Blade! No further!
here goes! Crescent Moon!
Lost my focus!
Thunder Blade!
Steel! Dust to Tiger Blade! Crumble!
Photon Thunder Touch!
What's this? Dust to dust!
I owe you one
Crumble!
Time and again! Sorry!
No! Dust come on a roll now!
I'll bring you back from
Crumble!
death abyss!
Tectonic punch! Crumble!
Far enough!
Dust to dust!
Ready to go! Crescent Moon!
Tiger Blade! Tectonic punch! Now you see what I can do! Do it!
Annihilation! Raging Cascade!
Tiger Blade! Punch! Dust to dust!
Over the stockpile!
Flaming Meteor!
Tectonic punch! Crumble! Off my head!
One last Raging
Tiger
Cascade!
Blade! You picked the wrong fight!
Sleep now!
Crumble! Dust to dust!
Lightning Orb!
I'm just getting
More
started!
where that came from! Raging Cascade!
Can't get out of this!
Annihilation! Sleep now! This one's mine! Going in!
Watch it!
I'll heal you all!
Look sharp!
Healing
Crumble!
Hey, that...
Tectonic punch!
This one's more for the stockpile!
Tectonic! I'm just getting
More where that
started!
came from! Photon Sheriff! Going in!
Leave, come
I'll
on!
bring you back from death abyss!
Tectonic punch!
Resuscitation!
Crumble!
Here, let me help!
Tectonic! Crumble! Tectonic punch! Take this! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
I'll heal you all!
This one's mine! I really owe you one. I really owe you one.
This one's mine!
Dust to dust!
Hit!
Tectonic
Go
punch!
get him! Bullseye!
just getting
Raging
started.
Cascade!
Tectonic
Here
punch!
goes!
Crumble!
I'll be saving this one! Radiant Spear!
I'll finish you here and now!
Light Astral Energy! Light
Crumble!
Healing
Dust to dust!
Appreciate it.
Raised and ready! Reload!
Tectonic
One! Raging Cascade!
ready while the last is
Lightning! Downfall! Here's a healing
Tectonic
art!
punch! Eat dirt!
Crumble!
Glacial Fire!
I'll finish you here and now! No further!
Here's the Raging Cascade! Searing
Tectonic
Flame!
punch!
Reload!
I'll finish you here! I'll smash you!
I'll be saving this
Glacial dust to dust!
Where are you going? And stay down! Here's the...
Tectonic punch!
Will this help?
Dust to dust!
In
And
here!
there
The
goes the
entire
tail.
fight to
Right,
break his
let's
tail.
do this!
Thanks,
Dust to
Leon.
dust!
I'm all
Tectonic
set your way!
punch!
Get toasty!
Bird strike!
Is everyone all right?
Yeah. But Almadria got away. Linwell, are you... What the hell happened here? Bayfon, is that you? Thank goodness you're okay.
I've been outside the city this whole time, but I sensed a disturbance in the wind and decided to turn back. What happened here? Where is everybody?
Almadria's handiwork. She allowed herself to be captured so she could rile up the Danans into a frenzy and rob them of their astral energy. She wiped out almost everyone in the plaza, including Deadheim.
Deadheim's dead. Everyone. And the Darkwings. Almost all of our companions in the Resistance. How could this happen?
Regardless of what she had to gain, what kind of person would do something like that?
If she managed to find kinship in Kelzelik, then I'd say the very worst kind. It's clear now that she used Menancia as a testing ground for the fruits of Helgen, before using them here.
So everything that led up to this moment was all a part of her plan.
Once she knew they'd eaten enough tainted food, she just needed to get herself caught.
We have to go after her. Balseth and Ganabelt were horrible, but Almadria makes them look like saints. I doubt she's really gone back into hiding. We have to put an end to this once and for all.
Yeah, what she's done can't be forgiven.
I don't know what to do. I saw what hatred did to those people, but hating her is the only thing that's kept me going. I can't just stop hating her. What am I supposed to do? Tell me. Smile at her from across the battlefield? Apologize while we fight her? I don't know if I can do that.
Rinwell.
Nobody can understand what you've been through. We can't even begin to imagine the pain you've experienced. But if hate is what has kept you going ever since that day, then let it be your strength. However, think about this. When you've had your revenge, when we've beaten Almadria, then what will you do?
Huh?
I'm saying you're going to have to find a way to survive once that hatred is gone. When it is, what do you plan on doing then?
I don't know. I've never thought about it before.
Almadria's death doesn't have to be your end too. You need a reason to live, Rinwell, not an excuse to die. Understand?
The wings
She's
are
right.
animated.
We could never truly know the pain that Almadria has caused you.
They're not just stationary.
But I think you should listen to Shion. Give yourself time to consider things. And if it's too much right now, it's okay for you to sit this one out.
No. My head might be a mess right now, but I'm not letting you fight Almadria without me. I need to be there. Please. That much I do know. I'm going with you. And on the road, I'll think about it. A reason to live. Without hate.
That said, it'll be no good chasing after her blind with no idea where she went. Beifan, do you have any ideas where she might have gone?
I can't say for sure, but west of here is an underground harbor along a cliff near the coast. She spent years building a ship there, a floating fortress that she called her castle on the sea. No one quite knew why she wanted the thing, but now...
Of course. She's already effectively destroyed her own capital. It's likely she planned to abandon her realm as well.
Right. That's as good a lead as any. Let's go. What's that woman going to do next?
Nothing good, I'll bet.
We'll stop it this time.
Just in case it crashes again. if they've been using any of these rare items. But I still have them, so it looks like they haven't.
I still can't believe what that Almeidrea did. Not only that, but she was enjoying it.
It's patently clear she has no respect for human life whatsoever.
We need to take her out. I don't think I've ever felt so enraged at another person in my whole life.
Yeah! There's no way she's getting away with this!
Then we head for the underground docks. We need to hurry. Rinwell, can you keep moving?
Yeah. My family and I, we spent all of our days just living in hiding. Until one day when we were found and attacked. I was the only one my dad and the others hid. That's the reason I survived. While the rest of my family was butchered. The only thing that I could see was the crest of a lord glowing through the smoke. And then...
It was Almeidrea who did it. I'm sorry, Rinwell.
That woman. Did she really find the existence of Dahnan mages to be that much of a threat?
Enough to invade another lord's territory? No, I doubt that. Most likely, she was after their knowledge and techniques. She only did it so she could become stronger. That's the kind of woman she is.
In retrospect, I do remember her making it sound like she created that monster she summoned.
A monster. I wonder, do you all think of me as a monster? Because I'm able to use magic even though I'm Dahnan?
Rinwell.
Of course we don't think you're a monster, you dummy.
Huh?
I might have had to hold you back, but it's her fault any of this ever happened, not yours. Got it?
Law.
Looks like we made it here in one piece.
A dead end?
No, there's an elevator. Looks operational.
I can't believe there's actually an underground harbor here. There are even boats docked.
I only see Dahnans. Think they were forced to work here?
Probably. Let's see what they have to share about Almeidrea. You didn't happen to see a lord come by, did you?
Sorry, friend, but she just left. Came by with a whole posse of underlings, boarded her ship, and took off at first wind. We damn near got blown away. She was that much in a hurry.
Damn! So we missed her!
You guys trying to go after her? Need a ride?
Are you saying you know how to steer a ship?
Spent most of my life chained to the deck of some ship or other. Yeah, I know my jib from my boom.
We don't know how dangerous it'll be. Better you give us the boat and stay on solid ground.
Whoa there! You been out on the water before? The sea ain't nobody's friend, you know. You need a sea dog like me, or you'll sink her before she makes it out the harbor.
We're losing time. Sir, we're in your debt.
Now that's more like it. Name's Mahavar. Just give me a holler when you're all set, and we'll set sail.
If there's anything else for me to do here.
This is like a dream come true. Never gotten to captain a ship before. Never would have thought I'd get a chance like this. Thank you, y'all.
The pleasure's all ours. Think we'll catch up to her?
Of course we will. They got too much weight on them. Meanwhile, this ship's carrying nothing but us salty scalawags. They got a good head start on us, but we can take them.
Do you know if there are any Danans on that ship?
Couldn't say for sure. On the one hand, seeing as it's supposed to be something of another castle, I'd reckon they probably wouldn't let a bunch of Danans on board. On the other hand, I'd be real surprised if the Renans were able to pilot that thing all by themselves. In any case, it's gonna be a while before we reach her. Till then, you're all free to do whatever. Just don't fall in the ocean.
I know Mahavar said we could take it easy, but there's not exactly a lot to do on this boat. I guess I'll check in on everyone and see how they're holding up.
I took a look around inside the ship just in case, but I didn't find anything that looked like it might be suspicious.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
You know, it wasn't until I left Calaglia that I finally realized just how big the world is.
When we tore down the wall in Calaglia, and I could finally see the horizon in the far-off distance, I had the exact same thought.
Yeah, somehow the sea is different though. I'm not sure just how to put it. It's almost as if it just goes on forever. I bet my old man would have been blown away by this view.
Yeah.
Ever since he died, I've been thinking about what it was that he was really trying to say to me at the end. I keep going over his words again and again. And heck, maybe I'm just overthinking it all. But still, sometimes I wonder if it could have turned out differently. If there was something I could have done. But no matter how much I play it back, I'm still no closer to finding any answers. And then there's everything with Rinwell. I stopped her from killing Almadria, but was that really the right thing to do? Or did I just end up making things harder for her? I feel like such a screw-up.
You're not the only one. I keep asking myself what Zephyr would have done had he been here. Like I think, how would Zephyr have handled Rinwell?
Yeah, I think he definitely would have stopped her. No doubt about it.
And that's exactly what you did, Law. I think he'd be really proud of you.
Alphen.
Zephyr's not the worst yardstick to measure ourselves against. Let's both do our best to make him proud.
Sounds like a deal. Thanks, Alphen.
Hold that pose long enough and someone might just come along and paint you.
Any artist who'd see fit to paint me needs their eyes tested.
What can you tell me about Almadria?
Not as much as you'd probably wish. I only ended up crossing paths with her a handful of times, after I was chosen to be a lord on Lenegis.
Ah, right. I almost forgot about Lenegis. How much do you think they know about what's been going on down here?
It's safe to assume they know everything, though I know not why they choose to remain uninvolved. Perhaps they see what's been happening as just part of the ongoing crown contest.
Even what Almeidrea did? Has it really reached the point where her actions are seen as normal?
Not to my knowledge, no. At its core, the crown contest is a competition to see who can amass the most astral energy. And to amass such energy, slaves are needed to collect it from. It's therefore against the Lord's interest to kill them.
So then why would Almeidrea do something like that?
We must remember that time is running out in the crown contest. Perhaps her hand was forced, so to speak. It is a way to accrue astral energy faster and in larger quantities than through slave labor. Doing so kills off that labor force, obviously, but it is a means to an end nonetheless. No one could have foreseen that something like the Hollowing would arise back when the contest was first conceived.
Is becoming the Sovereign of Rena really that important to the Lords?
Of course. It's the greatest prize one can attain in their eyes. In that respect, at least, I'm really not that surprised that Almeidrea resorted to what she did, as utterly despicable as it is.
It's reassuring to hear you feel the same way I do.
I worry that the only reason I never did anything similar in Menancia was due to my lack of ambition.
If you didn't want to be reminded of your past, you could have just plugged your ears.
You think too highly of me. I'm afraid I must respectfully disagree. I'm not nearly as virtuous of a person as you might wish to believe.
If that's so, would you have been so shaken up when Kisara lost her brother? Why else would you turn your back on your own kind and choose to fight for Miguel's dream? Aren't we just Danans?
A curious choice of words. Did what you see in Mahag Sar hit you that hard?
What Deadheim did to that city, he didn't liberate anyone. Anyone who refused to follow him was an enemy in his eyes. 300 years of Renan rule taught him nothing.
What I have come to understand is that the conflict extends beyond Danan versus Renan. There is an internal quarrel as well. I mean to bring about a true, lasting coexistence in Menancia. But there are more walls we must topple first.
And you don't think you can pull it off?
Well, you seem to think you can, at least.
Does that make us enemies?
Insofar as an exchange of swordplay, no, it doesn't.
Not good enough for you?
Are you really... Forgive me. I will continue to fight by your side a while longer. That much I have decided.
You don't look so good. Are you all right?
The floor. It keeps moving. How can you stand it? How can you even stand?
I'm not the best person to ask about discomfort. I can't feel pain, remember?
I still can't believe what happened in Niez. Even now. As a lord, my expectations for Almeidrea were already pretty low. But the way she treated human lives like they're mere playthings.
Yeah. And it wasn't as if the situation in Niez was improving much to begin with.
You mean Deadheim?
The whole reason I started fighting back was because of my anger at the atrocities of Renan rule. Back then, all I had to worry about was fighting the Renans for the sake of the Danans. But then I met Shion and the people of Menancia, and things became a lot more complicated. It's even messier now that we have to worry about Danans like Deadheim.
It used to be that the Danans were the ones in the right, and the Renans were the ones in the wrong. Though, maybe that was just a biased perspective from being on the side of the oppressed.
Exactly. I'll never tolerate the Renans ruling over us. But nothing ever ends up being as black and white as you'd expect it to be either. That's clear to me now.
That said, even putting aside bad apples like Deadheim for a moment, you may be able to free the Danan people, but that won't undo 300 years of oppression. It'll be hard for them to not give in to their resentment. I think maybe that's why I clung to our dream so hard back in Menancia.
Even if his motivations weren't pure, Dohalim has a good heart. He didn't sink to the depths Almeidrea did.
You don't understand. I'm saying that it goes deeper than that. This hierarchy we live in, it's not solely something the Renans invented. I remember a story Rinwell once told me. She said before the Renans invaded, we Dahnans had our own class system. We are the ones who divided ourselves. I saw it in Deadheim's eyes. He wanted to rule over others.
To hear Bayfon tell it, Deadheim wasn't always that way.
But as time went on, and he and the Darkwings fought the Renans, he eventually changed. I guess what I'm getting at is, if we defeat the Renans but just go back to the way things were before, was there even any point in fighting?
But that world isn't the one you want to create, right?
Maybe not. But to tell you the truth, these days I'm not so sure that dream is even possible.
You have your promise to Megal, though. Your home and the people of Menancia are depending on you.
I know. My brother. He truly believed in his dream of coexistence. And I suppose, even now, many people still do. And then, there's you.
Who, me?
You and Shion.
I'm not sure I follow.
Okay, then let me spell it out for you. How many other Renans and Dahnans do you know that get on as spectacularly as the two of you?
I don't know that I'd say spectacularly.
Well, I suppose it's really all a matter of how you look at it, isn't it?
I really don't see what you're getting.
I think I'm getting seasick again. Sorry. Can you just give me a wide berth for a few minutes?
These go on a little longer than I would like.
Do you think Law is okay?
If you're worried, why don't you ask him yourself?
Yeah. I think maybe I should apologize to him too. I should apologize to all of you, really.
Us too?
Well, I was kinda lying to you all this whole time. I was blind to everything except my own revenge. I never even considered the struggles all of you might be facing.
We all have things we'd prefer to keep to ourselves, Rinwell. So what if you had something to hide? It doesn't undo the good that you've done, or the people that you've helped save along the way.
But that's not what I mean.
I know. You're talking about Almeidrea, right?
Yeah. I hate her, Alphen. I can't stop hating her. Even just thinking about her makes my head feel like it's going to explode. But it's not just her. I think about the way Law looked at me. I hated the Lord who killed my parents. And I hated the Renans I had to travel alongside. And yet, Cyslodia's Dahnans backstab each other like it's a normal way of life. And Mahag Saar has people like Deadheim. But then there are people like Law and Shion. It's all just too much. I don't know what to think anymore.
Law never said that you had to forgive Almeidrea. It's only natural you would hate your family's murderer. But
But what?
Law left home because of how much he hated his father. As a result of that, well, I think Law spent a lot of time thinking about how they never got to make things right. And if I had to guess, killing Ganabel didn't make any of those feelings go away. Law let revenge fuel him, and I think now he's afraid you'll do something you'll regret.
Afraid?
Whatever happens to Almeidrea when this is all over is up to you. I'll respect whatever choice you make. Just think it over carefully for me, okay? You still have time.
Okay. Thanks, Alphen. Say, back then, after the fight, I think I really made Xion mad. I don't know, though. Maybe it just looked that way. But I guess I just can't seem to understand how she feels. Do you know why she gets like that?
Xion's... She can be a tough nut to crack. She doesn't really talk a whole lot about herself.
It's just what she said about hate being a source of strength. Where did that come from? I wonder how it feels, not being able to hold another person's hand.
Lean much further, you'll go overboard. Keeping an eye out for Almeidria's ship?
I'm looking at the ocean.
The ocean?
Yeah. The waves. They help me think. This world is filled with natural wonders. The icy air and white peaks of Cyslodia. The lush green glades of Menancia. The harsh wastes of Calaglia. But Menancia has its Lake of Death, and Nias its ruins. And they wouldn't be there if it weren't for that contest.
Say we actually managed to put a stop to the crown contest for good. What do you think will happen between the Dahnans and the Renans then?
You first.
Well, I want to believe that the coexistence we saw in Menancia can happen elsewhere, too. It's insane for all of us to keep fighting. If Menancia can do it, so can everyone else.
Yeah, I think that would be good too. A world where everyone can get along. At least, that's what I've come to believe.
You sure have changed.
I can't lie to you. Since I was young, I've looked down on the Dahnans too. But I've seen a lot. And I see things differently now. I've seen so many ugly and terrible things in this world. And yet, they didn't come from just the Dahnans. And the good things too. They didn't come from just the Renans. Kindness and cruelty exist on both sides. A person's race doesn't factor into it. So, I guess you're right after all, Alphen. I have changed. You know, I've never actually touched another person like this.
Xion.
Ever since I was on Lenegis, I've always been alone. Even after I came to Dahna. Always.
And now?
Do you still not remember your past?
No. Sometimes it feels like I can almost remember. But then this mask stops me.
The mask keeps you from remembering why you have the mask in the first place. It's a little ironic, isn't it?
A little. Well, it won't be long now before you're rid of those thorns, you know? Only 2 lords remain. And once you have their master course, you'll be able to create the Renis Alma, right? Then you can... Shion?
Sorry, it's nothing. Promise. You're right, though. It'll all be over soon. I never could have made it this far on my own. I have everyone to thank for that. Including... especially you, Alphen.
Don't worry about it. We're friends, after all.
Yeah, we are.
Wonder how much longer it's going to be before we catch up to Almeidrea. I'll ask Mahavar.
Look who's up! Good timing. We're closing in on her stern as we speak.
That's the ship? She's huge. Law, go gather the others, will you? Think you'll be able to flank them without getting spotted?
Yeah, with the fog as our ally, I think I might just pull it off. Long as we ain't too noisy, we should be okay.
What'll you do if they catch on to us?
Not much I can do. Ship that size, they'll probably blow us to bits before we ready cannons.
Persistent little things. Evidently, I shouldn't have spared the wretched vermin. Hungry already, my dear? Worry not, for you shall have plenty to feast upon shortly.
Perfect. You managed to get us right up beside them.
I'll stay with the ship so we can leave as soon as you're done.
Good. Then let's find Almeidrea.
Shion, I want to thank you.
What brought this on?
What you said helped to calm me.
Don't mention it.
Finally, some open space again.
I should use the Astral Crystal to make one of these guys as weapons instead.
Did we really just spend that much money?
This might not be the best time, but if you have a minute. That mask of yours, it was shattered by a blow from Balsef when you fought back in Calaglia, correct?
Yeah, thanks for the reminder. I thought it was a goner.
Balsef's brute strength was in a league all its own, yet half the mask remains. It's remarkably durable. Too durable to be Dahnan in origin.
Shion said the same thing. As if the fact I was wearing it meant there had to be more to me than met the eye.
You recalled your name when the mask broke, I hear.
Yeah, that's right. Although to tell you the truth, I'm a little scared what might happen when I lose the remaining half. Then again, the idea of not doing something because I'm afraid scares me even more. That's why I go on fighting.
Only he who first faces the night catches a glimpse of the dawn.
Come again?
It's nothing. Forget I said anything. Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
Now that's what I call a ship!
Yeah. The biggest one in all of Mahag-Sar. So big that it took years to construct.
For all we know, Kelzelik may well have been smuggling materials to help build it. In which case it would be yet another mistake on my part.
We don't know that she was only getting materials from Menancia.
You think it's possible that they might have come from elsewhere too? Yeah, I guess I could see it.
But what do you think Almeidrea plans to do from here on out, now that she's abandoned her realm and sailed out to sea?
She'll be filling her coffers with gold, most likely. Then she'll sit back and enjoy the show as the other lords duke it out. Or something to that effect, at least.
I wouldn't put it past her.
She's strong, yet shrewd, and will stoop to any low. A dangerous one indeed.
She's not the first, and she won't be the last. This is a lord we're talking about, remember?
Sounds like you've made up your mind already.
There was never anything to decide. No one who can smile like that while doing what she did deserves to roam free.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
I want to switch Shion permanently.
I won't forgive you! I'll be saving this one!
I'll punch that gun out of your hand! Bring that freaking dusted! Raising fire support! What's this? Raising flame! Make it break!
Get toasty!
Burn strike!
Hear me! Flame of fury!
Raising flame!
Water, hear my call!
Take this!
My flame of fury!
Switch it off! Make it rain!
Get toasty!
Burn strike!
Magna Ray! Time to shine!
Raising what's this?
Hydration orb!
Raising flame!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah! And tunnel it to me!
I want this sweet! Hydration orb!
First strike!
I'm ready for the next battle! Let's dispose of the trash.
I'll smash you! Release Raising flame! I'll finish you here and now! Raising flame! No shield can stand up to these fists!
You require
Magic
help.
Exam!
Yeah, have to turn everyone else's arts on.
Astral energy! Full throttle!
I feel sprightlier than before.
Little help!
Ready and ready! Far enough! Raising flux! Take this! What's this?
These ones can run rings around us!
Blazing flame! What's this? Hurricane spike!
Searing flame!
I'm gone!
Inferno!
I'm on it! Lunar arc! Too fast! Stand back! I'll trip it up! Raising flame! Hurricane spike! Lightning on right! Eat this! Come and get it! Raising flame! Steel! Raising steel!
Burning strike!
Steel! Raising flame! Hurricane spike! Swallow dance!
Everyone still in one piece?
Yep. I barely worked up a sweat. Got it. That went well.
Are you okay? You're not too tired, are you?
Nope, I'm fine. Let's keep moving.
I'll do my best! I'll see one, eh? My deal? Not today! What's the
Lightning orb!
Can't get out of this!
Make it rain! Covered in fire support! Ready to go! Raging healing circle!
The enemy wields arts too.
We'll soon see about that!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
This one's mine!
What's this?
Barely a blip on our radar.
Anything in armor is all mine! My deal? Now I'm in the blue!
Raging Falcon! I'm right!
You think that
shield will save you?
Ether! Blazing flame!
Shield!
Make it rain! Demon's descent! Flashing fang! Pretend to be shield! Demon's descent! Flashing fang!
I've been doing really great lately.
It's on! You got spirit!
Hurricane flood in your dreams!
I'll finish you here and now!
Astral energy!
Raising flame! What?
They really don't give up, do they?
Raising flame!
Now!
I'll stop your movement.
And I'll stop your life!
Glacial spear!
Raising flame! This one's all mine! Can't get out of this!
Lightning strike!
Hurricane strike! Lightning orb!
Now I'm in the
More
groove!
than that
Do it! Help it!
Look sharp! Lightning tiger blade!
Everyone hanging in there?
Burn! I'll smash you! My shield! Watch this! Raging Flame! I can read your moves like a book! I'll finish you here and now!
I'll be saving this.
Mine! Raging Flame! This one's Raging Flame! Now I'm in the can't get out of this! Make your Goodwill! Demon's Descent! Flashing Fang! Too slow!
Radiant
Looks like we got them all.
Ow! Got Raging Flame!
Sleep now. Water, hear my call. More for the stockpile.
Denied!
Glacial fear. You'll pay for what you did.
I'm on a roll now!
Going in.
Raging Flame!
Glacial spear. Pierce evil.
Going in! Raging Flame!
Going in.
I'm on Hurricane Strike!
Here it comes. Gemini off. Lightning
Strike!
strike.
Will ya?
Radiant hit.
Prepare to be sealed! Crumble! I'll walk you through! That's enough! On your knees! Eat dirt! These fists have got your name on them! I'll smash you!
Going in.
Here through! I'm on a roll now! Look sharp back, will ya? Here through! I'll crush you! Ah! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! I'm on it! Here through! Come back, will ya?
Ready to go for the hurricane!
What's this?
Glacial spear.
Piercing roll! Make it rain! Goodwill! Demon's Descent! Flashing Fang!
Nicely done.
Never seen anything like it.
It's an authentication key. They're quite common.
Maybe where you're from, but this is new to me.
It might go in an elevator somewhere. We should test it out.
In a bind?
Mega Ray! Gemini off!
Crumble! Ready and ready!
Raging Cascade!
I'm on a roll now!
Hear me! Flame of Fury!
Let me see what I can do!
Water, hear my call! Spread!
Burn!
Flame of Fury!
We've been smelling to me.
Yeah!
Hurricane!
Crumble!
Lightning strike! Water, hear my call! Maybe this way! Glacial spear! Here's evil! Chinese supernova!
You're wide open!
Lightning away! Thunderblade! Glacial spear! Here's evil! Going in!
In a bind? Do it!
Water out!
Crumble wall! You're wide open!
Lightning condemned! Healing circle! Thunderblade!
That's spot! Touch!
Mega
Here's
Ray!
spot!
Lightning condemned! Searing Thunderblade! Hurricane strike!
Turtle strike!
I'm out of ammo! One Annihilation!
Here's
Burning strike! I'm ready for the next battle!
These don't seem like your run-of-the-mill Zeugles the remnants usually keep around.
Indeed. I believe it's safe to assume these were used in her experiments.
They certainly look as twisted as her.
Even here.
should go.
That enemy looks
first.
strong.
Ooh, that's big.
We're in for... Long with this one.
Going in. In here.
So much for talking it out.
What can they just sit still?
Sia, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done. I'll bring you back from death a bit.
I let my guard down.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
I still got some fight left in me.
The enemy wields arts too.
We'll soon see about that.
I'm on it! Come and get it!
Here's a healing arm.
Shield and face! First strike! Talon hurricane!
Here's evil. Lightning strike. Freeze lancer. I'm ready to go. I'll heal you all.
Eat this!
He's
Such a failure.
Here's a healing arm. Here goes. Don't get in my way.
Lightning strike!
Hey, precipitation. Lightning
Down!
condenser.
Talon hurricane!
I'll take it from here. Let's see how you handle this. Deus Roar. I'll heal you all.
Look sharp!
Hey, crazy orb. Healing
I'm
sunlight.
on it!
I can't feel anything.
I'm on a roll now!
Reload! Look,
Hey,
I'll bring you
Roar!
back from death abyss.
I'm just getting started!
Do it! They're offering.
Hey! Blow them away!
I'll put the doctor on death abyss.
Burn!
Hurricane light escalator!
Hurricane!
Hurricane blast! Let me help.
Lightning blast!
Lightning condense! Thunder blast!
No further!
Reload!
Rip and tear!
Too shy to come over? Here!
Rip and tear!
Raging
Lunar dragon!
Lunar
Lunar arc! Rip and tear! That freaking does it!
Where are you going?
Photon blast!
Glacial speed!
Charge like that
Here's
could
the
easily
evil.
be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Armor won't save you! This one's all mine!
Glacial spear!
Rip and tear! I'll finish you here and now! Burn!
One more! Freeze
Rip
blast!
and tear! I'll finish you here and now!
Graviton
Glimmer
field!
dragon! Rip and tear!
Mega ray! Annihilate
Take
lightning
this.
orb! Not on my watch! Hurricane
Talon hurricane!
Lightning strike! Field!
Glimmer dragon! Rip
More
and
for the
shattering!
attack time.
Fusing! Attack time!
Flame! Jet ball! Lightning!
Hurricane! Rip and tear!
I can handle it!
Glimmer dragon! Hands on!
Raging now!
Kisara! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
I've been doing really great lately.
Looks like some solid equipment.
Should probably see if I can even have a map.
That's far... No!
Spicy one, eh?
Far left unfought.
Finally, some open space again.
This flavor? Why, it rivals the cooking of my own chefs in the palace. Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
Little squeeze through this time.
I'm on it! Bring it down! Can't get out of this!
If it's in the sky, it's mine.
Pierce through!
I'm the true gunslinger around here. Where are you going?
Make it rain!
Get toasty!
Burn strike! You're wide open!
Hurricane
Crumble!
Air thrust!
Pierce
This
through!
will be easier! Pierce evil!
Too fast! Stand back! I'll trip it up! Crumble!
Supernova!
Lost my focus!
Annihilate!
Do you require a hand?
You're done! Crumble!
Radiant
Crumble!
Crescent moon!
I'm on it!
This one's mine!
Crumble!
Thunder annihilation!
Everyone still in one piece?
Yep. I've been...
It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out. I see what. My shield. Pierce through. How about that? I'll finish you here and now. Ignite.
Lightning strike!
Pierce through.
I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life.
Well then, let's keep moving. That enemy looks strong. I bet it'll be
Oh man, I hope I live long enough to regret this.
Hurricane strike! Dance in the wind!
Sleep now.
Eater.
What's
this?
Glacial speed!
Far enough. Crumble.
Hurricane
Now or never. I'm just getting started.
Dance in the wind! Hurricane
You're done.
Lunar I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life. You're wide open.
Here's evil! In here!
I'm just getting started. Eagle to strike.
Where that came from?
I've been doing really great lately.
This is...
That's far enough!
Feisty one, eh? Eat this! Never enough!
Confiscated! You'll have no mercy!
Pesky airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like a job for you and Sterling!
You're wide open! That's enough! It's almost too strong! Be my guest! Now I'm in the groove! An Astro Arch?
That's my cue!
Shut him down!
Lightning strike!
Come back, will ya?
Eagle assault!
That frickin' does it! I'll smash you! My shield? Pierce through! I'm just getting strong! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Faster!
Going in! There!
Frickin' does it!
Shining supernova!
Crumble! I really owe you one. I'll finish you! Can't get out of this!
Lightning
Crumble!
by the
I
never miss!
Pieces!
Raging
By the
Crumble!
Crumble!
This one's mine! Air thrust!
First strike!
I'll teach you
I'm just getting started! Kisara! I'll stop your movement! And I'll stop your life!
With this, I can become even stronger. Do you s-
What is that huge flower-looking thing up there? Is that the ship's engine?
Indubitably. As one might expect, large ships require large engines in order to sail.
And if we destroyed it?
We might well sink the ship. Who knows if we would be able to escape before that happens.
Almeidria sure has been busy since the contest began.
This isn't Almeidria's doing.
You mean she didn't build this?
The body, yes. However, my guess is that the engine comes from a starship.
A starship? As in one of those vessels used to go to and from Lenegus?
Correct. The technology employed on Lenegus and in starships is more advanced than anything in our daily lives. Almeidria may be resourceful, but she could never produce an engine like this on her own.
You mean to tell me we've got even bigger enemies waiting for us up in the sky? Ugh, my head hurts just thinking about it.
Don't worry about that for now. Just focus on taking care of Almeidria. You got spirit!
You require help.
Freeze Lancer!
Here goes! Crumble! Hurricane Strike! A showdown between blade and fist!
Air thrust! Light astral energy! Radiant pierce!
Lightning strike!
These
Fists has got your name on them!
Air thrust!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Backboard!
Looks like we got them all.
These guys are giving me peach gels again.
This'll make us even more formidable.
It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out!
Now you'll learn!
My shield!
Not in your dreams!
Damn it!
Here, I'm just getting
It's a
started.
duel!
We're not finished! Not
Flying free! I think they just missed still!
Sheila, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done! This one's mine! Dance in the wind! Air crumble! Astral energy!
Piercing through!
Radiant
Right. I'll run you through!
That's my cue! Hear my call!
Shut him down!
Everyone hanging in there? I'll do my best!
I can carve through armor!
Like steel?
Burning strike! Let them mark
On your knees! We're not finished!
See what happens there and you crossed me. Shouldn't have done that. Crumble! Appreciate the help.
Radiant!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Here I go!
I'll finish you here and now!
This one's mine!
Now I'm in the groove!
This one's mine!
Tiger Blade!
Denied! Hurricane!
Where are you going?
Eat this! Talon Hurricane!
This one's mine!
Take this! Eat this!
Hurricane Blast!
I'll keep you right!
Lunar Hurricane! I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare Demolition! Kisara! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
I've been doing really great lately.
Go no further!
Now you see what I can do! My
Field!
Rip tongue!
Saving this one!
Water!
Lightning Frozen!
Hammer!
Help this! Photon Blade! Dance to go in!
Take this!
Tiger Blade! Hurricane Energy!
Nothing gets by me!
Now!
Kisara! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Everyone still in one piece?
Yep. You're saying we should check the Owl Forest?
I missed it.
That's far enough!
Eat this!
First strike! Look sharp! Water! Hear my call!
Take this!
Raging Blade Laser!
Lightning strike!
I'm on it!
Leave the ensnaring
Hear
to
my
me.
call!
Yeah! And now pummel it with me!
Here's evil!
I'm on it!
Raging Cascade!
Switch to offense!
Now!
Kisara! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
We managed to pull through.
That's far enough!
This one's mine!
Now we're never
This one's mine!
Come and
Going
get it!
in! Look sharp!
Friggin' go! I'm on it! Damn it,
Get toasty!
Burn strike!
Water!
You're wide open! Ha! You're done! What's this?
This one's mine!
No further!
Glacial Spear!
Sleep now!
Ribbon tear!
I'll be saving
Sliver dragon!
Blah blah blah! That's it!
These fists have got your name on them! Eat this!
Shield and mace!
Talon Hurricane! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Is there anything more magnificent than the musculature of a warrior? Perhaps it is in search of this perfect beauty.
Ow! Bring him down! Save you!
My
Hurricane strike! Roll now! Lightning strike! Eagle assault! I'll finish you here and now! Rip and tear! We're not finished! Make it rain! Hikara! Go for it! Prepare to crumble!
The enemy wields arts too.
We'll soon see about that.
Hurricane strike!
Don't get complacent. I wonder if we can use this.
Shouldn't have messed with me! Eat this! Make it rain! Get on!
Get toasty!
Burn strike! There! You're now in the groove! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Aw, two shots. Come over.
Here, eat this!
Do as I say!
I never miss!
Far enough! Eat this! In a vine? First strike! Appreciate the help! Too slow! Now I'm in it!
Here's a healing arm!
This one's mine! Why you?
Glimmer Dragon! Now I'm in the groove!
Here's the
Thunder Strike! Talon Hurricane!
Lightning Strike! Thunder
Hurricane Strike! Burn!
This one's done!
Going in! Glimmer Dragon! I'll finish you here and now!
What did you do?
I'll stop your movement.
And I'll stop your life!
Here's a healing
Too
arm!
slow! Coming here!
It's time.
Hurricane! Glimmer Dragon! I can carve through. What's this? I lost myself in the heat of the moment. I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Will this help?
Now I'm in the groove.
I'm ready to go.
Can't get out of this.
Healing
I've let you all down.
Back some dead I can handle it. Resuscitation! Here, let me help.
I don't have much left.
This one's mine!
Glimmer Dragon!
Healing arm.
I'll finish you here and now!
Here's a healing arm.
Glimmer Dragon! Rip and tear!
Not in your dreams.
Glimmer! I'll finish you here and now! Rip and tear!
Glacial spear.
Take this!
Glacial freeze lancer.
All good things come to an end. Prepare to be charge!
Thanks, Kisara. Going in.
Now I'm in the groove! Glimmer Dragon! Rip and tear!
Kisara, I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Lady Fortune must truly be watching over me.
She sure spared no expense on her castle.
This must be...
The captain's quarters. The presence of the spirit vessel and the sheer extravagance on display can leave no doubt.
There's no one here.
Yeah, but I doubt she's out for a moonlight stroll. You think she jumped ship and ran away again?
I doubt it. The conniving witch is probably up to something.
Agreed. In any case, as long as she hasn't suddenly sprouted wings, she has to be somewhere on the ship. Let's keep looking. The way this key's been placed, it's like she's daring us to come find her.
Yeah, like it's all some damn game to her.
This is probably a good time to go back to Leo.
What's wrong, sweetie? Is something scaring you?
Maybe he just doesn't like being in her room.
I think there's more to it than that. What could it be?
If I go back and heal and make new weapons for everyone.
It's on! Engaging you! My shield! I'll finish you here and now! Lightning strike! Eat this!
It was nice while it
Dance in the wind! I never miss! Feel!
Watch this! Eagle of Fire! I'm on it! Eat this! Power Hurricane! Mission one!
Air thrust! More with glacial punch!
I'm reaching my limit, you guys.
Out of our way!
Bring him down! Fire support!
Get toasty!
Bird strike! Faster!
Radiant here!
Talon Hurricane!
Here!
Take Bolero!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah, and the pummeling to me!
Make it ready!
Hey! Blow them away! You're wide
Water
open!
astral energy!
Hurricane First strike! Talon Hurricane!
How much longer will our healing arts last?
Finally, some open space again.
Have you got... Has checked your equipment lately?
This shall suffice. Please, everyone, have as much as you like.
Now I'm just worried about crashing all the time. I'm almost there. Almost. I've got a good number of points to spend too. I'll use it for boost gauge. Boost attack. Not holding to his points.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
Hi, Hoodle! Let the marksman handle
Bring him down! Bombardment!
Now you see what I can do!
Right shield!
Sweet now, I'm out of ammo!
These fists have got your name on them! I'll finish you here and now!
That's my cue!
Crush you!
Shut him down!
Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Fast fire support!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Getting started! Eagle attack!
I'm on it! Teleport! Listen! I'm on it! Solid hurricane! Take Bolero!
Ready!
Eat this! Go in! Eat this! Talon hurricane! Teleport! Listen! Eat this! Step it up! Talon hurricane!
Now! Bizarre! Go for it!
Prepare the purple!
Nicely done. Is this the ship's cargo? What a pain. I can't see anything past all this stuff.
Be on your guard. For all we know, there could be something hiding around here.
Wait, hitting with something already.
You got spirit! Damn it! I'll smash you! Knock it into next week! Super swallow kick! I'll finish you here and now! Take the I'll run you through! First strike! I'm on! Hurricane!
Glacial Spear. Do it! I'll be... I'm ready for the next battle.
Where is it? She got this. But I feel like I only ran into one dragon this whole time.
Not far enough!
I'm not even sure if
Bring him down!
that big sleeping monster was a dragon.
I can carve through armor! My shield! Hurricane! Strike! I'm just getting started! Glitter Dragon! Eagle! Flaming Meteor! Eat that! Release!
I never miss.
First strike! That's enough!
Thunder
Make it rain! Take! Blow them away! Come and get aboard! To smash him!
Hurricane Strike!
This one's mine!
Air thrust!
Talon Hurricane! Hurricane Bolero!
Glacial Spear! Get toasty!
Burn Strike!
Everyone still in one piece?
Yep. I barely worked up a sweat.
Defenses. Pretty high.
Hi, Hoodle!
First Strike!
In here!
Ignite!
Time to
shine! I'm on it!
Water, hear my call! I'll shoot them out of the sky! Hurricane Strike! Burning Strike! Go for the weak point!
Eat this!
Hurricane Strike! Get lightning condensed!
Lightning Strike! I'm just getting started! Piercing Roar! Eagle! This one's mine! I'm on it!
Reload! I'm out!
First Strike!
Here's a healing heart!
Look sharp! Talon Hurricane! I can carve through armor!
Blade!
In a bind?
Hurricane Strike!
Talon Hurricane!
Primed and ready!
This one's mine!
Radiant
Piercing Roar! Eat this! First Strike!
Going in! Here!
Hurricane Strike!
I'm all stuffed
Lightning Strike! All good things come to an end! Eat this! Knock it into next week! Talon Hurricane! Lightning Strike! Take Bolero! I'll finish you here and now! Come and get it!
You made me angry. That was a bad idea.
Hurricane Strike!
This one's mine!
Hurricane Strike!
I'll take you all on. Ha! Flare Demolisher!
I'm gone! First Strike! Now you see what I can do! I'll finish you here and now!
I can handle it.
This one's mine! Strike! Burn! I'm gone! Shield at me! Glimmer Strike! Eagle of
Glacial Spear!
Time to stop! I'm on it! Talon Hurricane! First Strike! This one's mine! Glimmer Dragon! Here! Lunar Arc! First Strike!
Glacial
Hurricane! Talon Hurricane! This one's mine! Ready and rarely! Eat this! Glimmer Dragon! Hurricane Assault!
Hear me!
This
This one's mine!
These fists have Here!
More
Talon Hurricane! Do it! Make it break! Demon's Descent! Flashing Fang!
I need to be stronger.
Did that get rid of the barrier?
We'll just have to go back and check.
If Almadria's not in her own room, just where the hell is she?
It's possible she may be on the bridge, but I would guess that she's waiting for us elsewhere on the ship.
Which means she's most likely chosen a place where she'll have the advantage in a fight.
Be careful, guys. I came from an entire family of Danon mages, and that woman murdered all of them. All on her own. I hate to say it, but she's an incredibly powerful astral artist.
We already know she specializes in controlling wind astral energy. But on top of that, she might try to sick that monster on us again, too.
Right. To that woman, life itself is just a toy for her to play with. Let's make sure we put an end to it. There's only one last place to look. Straight ahead.
Almadria.
There she is! Almadria!
But all alone? Watch yourselves. She's probably planning something.
I was getting rather tired of waiting around. Oh my, and I see you came along as well, Danon Witch.
Almadria.
What's this? I thought you couldn't stand the sight of me. Go on, little one. Show me the full force of that hatred of yours. Otherwise, run and hide like a rat you are.
That's enough! How can you smile while causing pain to so many others?
That is the way of those who possess great power. The very way we Renans live by. Those with power set the example, and those without it are forced to obey. Though you two seem to have forgotten that's the way these things work.
And you really think that justifies your actions? You turned all those people into a hollowed sea!
What foolishness. It's only natural that the fate of a slave differ from that of its owner. Very well, I admit I did fan the flames just a tad back in Mies. But it wouldn't have mattered in the slightest if there hadn't been a spark to ignite. Without it, my actions would have been fruitless. Ultimately, it was their very own burning hatred that laid them to waste. To say it was all my fault is simply laying blame at the wrong feet.
No one's perfect. We all have darkness in our hearts. But the atrocities that you've committed, they're unthinkable! Your heart is nothing but darkness!
What a fool! To think time and time again you would challenge Renan authority without so much as an inkling of how things actually work. Such ignorance is why your kind has been enslaved for 300 years.
Almadria.
Well, if it isn't Lord Dohalim.
These people are my allies and friends. I won't let you insult them so.
My, what a shock. I never would have expected you to claim mere slaves as your companions. If I didn't know any better, I would question your noble lineage. Oh, how far the mighty have fallen. A traitor such as yourself hardly deserves to be called a lord.
You are nothing compared to Dohalim.
Rinwell.
He would never stand by and laugh. His people hollowed!
Ha! What does it matter? You're descended from those who allowed the power and knowledge entrusted to them to wither away. Your pitiful family may have feared it, but I do not. That knowledge and power is all mine to command. And now, you will witness what that power's truly capable of! Nesmold!
Complained about not enough dragons, and then there are more dragons.
Enjoy your meal! Such sad eyes, child. Let me reunite you with your parents.
Shut up! I'm gonna take you down if it's the very last thing I do!
That's right. Loathe me. Every step brings you closer to being me!
You're wrong! You're wrong! I'm nothing like you! Raging Cascade!
Now we're not-
In here! Not more!
Changing strategy!
Here, let me help. Sleep now.
I really owe you one. Tiger Blade! Bolero! Quiver Dragon!
What foolishness!
In a vine?
Glacial Spear. Piercing Dance in the wind. Freeze Air Drop. Light Acid in the wind. Air Drop. Hurricane Strike.
Right. Lightning Strike!
Thanks, Shion.
Let the marksman handle this.
Light Astral Energy. Dance in the wind.
Does it!
Hurricane Strike. Lightning Strike. Healing Support. Lightning Orb.
Appreciate the help.
Right. Glacial Spear. Piercing Condemned. Hurricane Strike.
Lightning Strike!
Healing Circle. Not in your dreams.
Stay away! Look strike!
Glacial Spear. Hurricane. Lightning Orb. Dance in the wind. Air Drop. Light Astral Energy.
Now, in the groove! You're done! Piercing Bolero! Now I'm in the groove! No further!
Hurricane Starlight.
This one's mine! Now I'm real mad!
Here,
Take Bolero! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous
damage.
Claw!
Right. Supernova. Hurricane Power. Lightning Strike. Here. Here. More with that mega.
Right.
Glacial Harder. I'll heal you all.
Look sharp!
Where are you going? Dance in the wind.
All good things come to an end.
Take
Bolero!
Lightning Strike. Healing
Strike.
Radiant Spear. I'm out of ammo.
Piercing Roar!
Mega Ray.
I'll finish you here and now!
Thunder
Take
Beam.
Bolero! Here goes! Can't get out of this!
What's she doing now?
She's infusing her beast with more power.
Get ready! Dance in the wind! Field! Healing Circle!
Their arcs were interrupted.
Appreciate the help! Denied! I'm just getting started!
Hurricane Strike!
Take Bolero! No!
Here's a healing art!
This one's mine!
Hatred.
Right! Take Bolero!
Go here! Retreat! More weapon ray!
Take Bolero!
This one's mine!
shot!
Annihilation!
Take Bolero!
Can't get out of this!
Now, down! Your arms will be right! Take Bolero!
Healing crazy cascade! Hey, seal!
Time to
I'll be
shot!
saving this one!
First
Blah,
strike!
blah, blah, yeah, reload!
Here goes!
Land back into the
Hurricane strike!
You picked the wrong side!
Glacial spear! Here's evil! Free Lancer!
Piercing rock!
Getting struck!
Nothing gets by me.
Healing circle!
That hurt!
The earth throbs.
Hurricane strike! Now you see what I can do! I'm on a roll now! Hurricane strike!
Lightning
Sword up!
Light after Leonard! Lightning condemned! Thunder! Hey, that...
In a bind?
Take Flaming Meteor!
Reload! Thunder shield!
I'm all set!
Dance in the wind!
What foolishness.
Seal! Where are you going?
It's a hurricane!
Sleep now.
Take Bolero!
Healing circle!
Hurricane strike! Stay away! Appreciate the help! Watch this! Going in!
Water astral energy! Light healing circle!
Take this!
I can only
I'll
rely on
finish you here and now! I'm gone! Bolero!
Friction
fool! Now I'm in the groove! Meteor!
Photon blast! Lightning condemned!
Take Bolero!
In a bind?
Do it! Gion!
Get toasty!
Bird strike!
One more!
Flames! Eat this! This one's mine!
Glacial spear! Pierce evil!
They're attacking separately!
I can't land a hit on her!
Keep an eye on her. And take out the monster first.
She's no stranger to astral arts.
I can take care of that!
Yeah! Take it away!
Let the marksman
Guardian Field!
Confiscated!
Alright! Let me out!
Dance in the wind! Pierce evil! In here!
Light up the dark! Burn in hell!
I got the stockpile! Lightning orb! More where that came from!
Pressing on!
Will this help?
Not done yet!
I never miss!
The earth throbs in pain.
You will
suffer!
suffer! Freaking does it!
I'm drinking orb! Dance in the wind!
Ready and ready!
Healing circle!
First strike! Talon Hurricane!
Thank you!
Take this!
Behold,
My
Lightning
power!
That looks bad.
Wits about to...
Talon Hurricane! Burn! I'll finish you here and now!
Lightning orb!
I'm on strike!
Arch shield!
the winds of judgment blow your way!
Fall before impending calamity! Eat this! Chaotic disaster!
So that's the trick up her sleeve.
Your astral arts aren't so special. And now, they're mine!
You shouldn't have messed with me!
Everyone died but me. I'm just gonna die.
Prepare to be sealed!
I'm
such a failure.
Mom. Dad.
The sovereign! Such sad eyes, child. Let me reunite you with your parents.
Shut up! I'm gonna take you down if it's the very last thing I do!
That's right. Prove me. Every step brings you closer to being me!
You're wrong! You're wrong! I'm nothing like you!
Take the road!
Now we're not...
No further!
Air thrust! I can do this all day!
I'm just getting started!
Gemini Aqua!
Take the road!
Photon blast! Raging cascade!
Armor won't save you!
Fresh! Dance in the
Look
wind!
sharp! Take
Radiant
the road! Hurt denied!
Have some fun.
Radiant sun! Here!
Hurricane
Not
strike!
in your dreams!
Stay away!
Going in! Lightning rod!
Take the
Where
road!
that came from!
Eat this! Coming shit! Take this! How dare you! Hurricane strike! Hurricane! Take the road!
Try and
Too
run.
slow! Here!
What foolishness.
I'm on piercing roar!
you.
I've let you know again.
Leave me all alone.
He's such a failure.
Here's a healing arm.
Right.
Here I go. I can do this all day. Here's
In a
healing
vine.
arm. Here. Sleep now. Here's that fire. This one's all mine. Here's evil. Freeze laser. Here, let me help.
Ready and ready.
Feel.
This one's mine.
Watch it. This one.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Radiant flush. Here's a healing arm. Astral energy.
I really owe you one.
Hurricane there.
Armor won't save you!
Turn to dust.
I'm ready.
Look sharp.
First strike!
What's she doing now?
She's infusing her beast with more power.
Get ready.
Look sharp.
This one's mine.
Hurricane!
Raise the healing arm.
Ready to go! On a roll now!
Can't get out of this!
Glacial spear.
Watch
Yes,
this.
eagle.
No,
Freeze laser.
I'm down!
You're out.
Down. Come on.
Here we go again! Hurricane!
Look sharp.
I can only rely on you.
Dance in the wind.
You picked the wrong fight!
Dealing with
Armor won't save you!
now or never.
Rip and tear!
Here's a healing arc.
Take away!
Hey, that time to shine.
Take this!
Water astral energy. Searing flame. Not in your dreams.
Hook up!
Lightning arrow. Lightning arrow. More with that
Time to shine! First strike! That's enough!
Reload.
Rip and tear! Quiver dragon! Pieces! Attack us!
Where are you going?
Burn!
Feel. Glacial fire. Turn
I can carve through armor! It's time! Rip and tear! You're wide open!
Here's the healing arc.
Go! Almost!
Hurricane
Like focus! You're wide open! He's such a failure.
Now you've gone and ticked me off.
Crescent moon.
Be gone.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
Right.
This one's mine.
Resuscitation. I've still got some fight left in me. Here's a healing arc.
No patience!
Hurricane
Get out of this!
Watch it.
Far enough.
This time!
Hurricane
Watch this! Stay away! Do it! Xion!
Get toasty.
Burn strike! That's much better. Come and get it!
They're attacking separately!
I can't land a hit on her!
Keep an eye on her. And take out the monster first.
She's no stranger to astral art.
I can take care of that.
Yeah, take it away!
Healing arc.
You require a hand.
Their arts were interrupted.
No further!
Hurricane flight.
This one's all mine!
Confiscated.
I've let you all down.
Leave the choice to me.
In here. Water. I'll bring you baby to death. Hurricane
I'm not talking about when she does her Mystic Art.
Ready to go. Hurricane strike. Lightning rage.
Ignite!
will suffer!
I'll be saving this one.
I'll smash you!
Prepare
to be free!
Dance in the wind! Power! Feel!
Wits about you, people!
Lightning strike! Take the
This one
Now, in the group!
I never
Well, it's not gonna charge back.
In a bind?
I'll never forgive you!
What?
I'll take you down!
I guess I don't need the full charge.
You don't scare me!
Go for it! Well,
Hit her now! Thank you.
I can carve through armor!
Sleep now.
Just the dust!
Stockpile. Dance in the wind! Air drop! Switch it off! Light astral raging cascade into the shadows! In here!
Prepare to be seized! Beat this, damn it! If only I'd been more careful. I let my guard down. I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
I still got some fight left in you. Back from I can't heal you forever.
First strike!
Here's another. Raging cascade. Hurricane.
Now I'm in the
here.
groove.
I'm ready. More for the stockpile.
Eat this!
Going in. Where are you going?
Off my focus! I'm on it! I did it! Oh, you are gonna pay for that! You're done!
I'm out of it.
Leave the chargers to me! Not like this! I'll smash you! Now I'm in the... Ignite! I'm on it!
More with that. I knew that.
Run.
I was confident.
Rip and tear!
Shiny
I'm just getting
supernova!
started! In a bind? I'm on it!
Dance in the wind!
You're such a failure.
Dance in the wind!
Here we go
Sleep
again!
now. More for the stockpile.
Behold my truth!
Power. Her master core. Not while I'm around, she isn't.
I'm on it!
Here goes! By the power of
Super swallow
I'll
dance!
bring you back from death.
What's this?
The winds of judgment blow your way!
It's not
Fall
gonna-
before impending calamity!
It's not gonna give me a chance to do it.
Chaotic disaster!
So that's the trick up her sleeve.
Your astral arts aren't so special. And now, they're mine!
I'm on it! Next enough!
Behold my shattering power!
Pieces! Time! Eat this! Hurricane!
This one's mine! Confiscated!
Eat this! Tiger blade! Hurricane! Now I'm in the
The winds of judgment blow your way! Fall before impending calamity! Chaotic disaster!
Sleep now.
I really owe you one. Off my focus! Take this!
Healing
First strike! Talon Hurricane!
This one's mine!
Behold
I'll bring
my
you back from
true
death.
power!
Far enough! Now I'm in the groove!
Hurricane!
Take blue!
I still got your fight left in me.
not today!
It's over.
I'm just getting started!
The winds of judgment blow your way! Fall before impending calamity!
Chaos! Demons descend! Flashing fang!
You murdered my mother and father. But I'm not like you.
Rinwell.
Even now, I hate you. But here I am, unable to let go. Honestly, even if I took my hatred out on you here and now, it wouldn't make me feel any better in the long run. I realize that now. So, I won't kill you. I'll take you in and make damn sure justice is served the right way.
You would dare mock me with your foolish, useless pity? A Dahnan, nothing more than a mere slave. I won't allow you to...
It's not about what you think. Or being Dahnan or Renan. Because you'll atone for the crimes you committed. And that's all.
It's that swordsman again.
Lord Volron, what brings you here? No, forgive me. I've forgotten myself. Please allow me to make it up to you, my lord.
Silence now, wretched snake. Does it hurt? It should. That pain is proof you're still alive. Enjoy it.
Volron. Years ago, the Lord of Ganeth Haros met a sudden death. His successor was a man by that very name, Volron.
And like a restless lover, I've come back for more.
Stop right there!
Think you can cut me down? What?
Wait, what just happened to him? Alvin! Say something! Let go of me! Let me go!
Xion!
Alvin!
Xion!
Alvin!
not use the blazing sword anymore?
Come and find me, if you truly are the Sovereign.
After all this time, I'll be free from this hell. I can finally go home. I doubt I'll ever see this place again. Might as well walk the block once more for old time's sake. As usual, nobody wants to explain anything to me. They just threaten and harass me instead. What does everyone think I am? Some sort of talking pet? They're the ones that dragged me all the way up here in the first place. Bastards. I shouldn't have bothered coming out. Might as well head back to my room. I just wanted to go back. To Dana. To my home.
Alphen.
Leori.
Alphen. Live for me.
No. Leori. No! Wait, please. Wait, What was that? That... How long ago was that? That's right. Shion. Oh, right. That's what pain felt like. So much for it all being a bad dream. Where am I? Where is everyone? I need to find them. Better start looking. Niori. Shion. Damn it.
Oh, I forgot to save.
Take this! Severing wind! Wind! Lunar Rondo! Strike! Crush! Eternal devastation! Eternal devastation! Raining slash!
Have my sticker anymore?
Crush! Eternal devastation! Crush! Crush! Eternal devastation! Eternal devastation! Eternal devastation! Crush! Blow away! Eternal devastation! Crush! Eternal devastation! It's on! Raining slash! Crush! Eat dirt! Crush! Eternal devastation! Eternal devastation! Crush! Eternal devastation! Raining try harder! Not a chance! Eternal devastation! Crush! Eternal devastation! Blow away! Raining slash! We did it! Raining slash! Wind! Severing wind! Stardust! Wind! 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 Lunar Rondo! This one's all mine! Severing wind! Wind! Take this! I'm not done! Take this! I'm not done! Lunar Rondo! You're out!
Okay, I'm not dying.
Severing wind!
No, I have to kill the magic.
Raining slash! Blow away!
Make sure I don't waste all this time.
Ah!
Alvin?
Finwell!
What happened just now? Normally you'd be able to take that thing with your eyes closed.
Thank goodness you're alive. Are you all right?
Yeah.
I'm just glad we found you in one piece. You were the only one still missing. There's a village back the way we came from, Thistleim. Kisara and La are already there.
Finwell, where are we?
Ganeth Haros, Volron's realm. Remember?
Ushered by the waves straight to the enemy stronghold. A rare stroke of luck, it would seem.
Luck?
If Volron's here, that means Shion's close too, right?
Shion? Oh. Right. Of course.
Are you sure you're feeling okay? You seem a little off.
He's probably just exhausted. Let's save the catching up for when we're back at the village.
Yeah, here it is.
You sense one of your pals, Poodle?
Does that L have to be back here? Doesn't look like it. Now seems like a good time to take a break and play with my dog.